Alrighty then, it's time for an Annie game, and I'm pretty sure you didn't expect this one anytime soon. Which one? The thing is, I tried doing a new matchmaking ploy to try to get which to the jungle, since I keep not getting the jungle when I pick jungle top. My friend was like, hey Stonewall, you know what you could do? Put jungle mid. Mid is the most popular and impactful role, so there's a lot of people vying for that pick. Therefore, by logic, you should be able to get jungle, since they'll just give mid lane to other people. 3 games later as mid lane, I'm pretty damn sure that's not true. So yeah, I really want to just play jungle. I'm doing my best to just try to get jungle, but the matchmaking just doesn't like me at all. I even tried putting top slash jungle and it still doesn't work. So there's just something up here. I want to know what it does. Anyways, I picked Annie because she's one of the very few mid laners I know how to play. Yet I haven't played her in a long ass time or with any matchups as of late or anything. So I'm still playing with a lot of inexperienced mid lane. I know, I took a big, risky gamble, but I figured, Annie's pretty damn easy to play. Anyways, Azir is a ridiculously bad matchup for her because E outranges her by a shitload, and range is Annie's biggest weakness. She's like a mid-range kind of champion who can blow the shit up out of people, but without flash or against super long-range opponents, her reach is very limited. Either way, my mid lane repertoire is pretty much any top laner or jungle that can sort of be used in mid lane, and Annie, Karma, and Malzahar. And those other 2 champions would have been far better against Azir than Annie is. So I'm just struggling right now, and I'm tilting like crazy because my teammates are like, "Oh my God, Annie, you're already feeding. Azir's gonna get out of control." So I'm just like hoping to do my very best. Thankfully, at least Annie has the ability to become a little bit more utilitarian in case you get completely destroyed. So if I lose my lane super bad, then at least I can just focus on being a tanky stun mod of some kind. Now, here's a bit of a talk about Annie. A lot of players complain about her, saying that she's too unfair, too brutal, and too whatever. I would agree that her passive is unfair because if you remember the whole talk I had about conditional power, she shits on that very idea in an unfair sort of way. If you guys don't know what conditional power is, it's where when you get something like complete some sort of mini objective or condition, and then it gives you a boost of strength or utility in some aspect. Skarner, when you fight alongside a Pyres, he gets a lot stronger. That's conditional power. Shen, when you drive his sword through enemies, you get a boost in damage. That's a conditional power. Annie's passive is technically conditional power, but it doesn't play by the rules because it doesn't wear off. See, Annie's passive doesn't do anything until you get the max stats, which is a big ass stun on any of her abilities. But it doesn't wear off, therefore you can just hold on to it. Therefore the conditional power is always on. Therefore the threat of it is just pervasive. It doesn't go away. Anyways, I'll go back to that in a second. Here, I missed my W by a long shot because I thought he was going to face me and try to fight me because Yasuo was incoming. But either way, he kicks me forward. I burn him both with my teddy bear. I do get killed, but that helps me get an assist and a kill against both Yasuo and Lee Sin, which at least helps my mid lane out. Even if I die, a kill is going to help me out tremendously at this point. Anyways, one change I had for an idea for Annie was that in order to actually make her passive conditional, make it so it wears off. And it wears off based on the number of stacks you have. So you have 1 stack, let's say it only lasts, the duration of that 1 stack is 30 seconds, it's quite lengthy. But every additional stack lowers it by quite a bit. It's 2 stacks, it's now 20 seconds, 3 stacks, it's now 10 seconds, and max stats where your stun is enabled, you got 5 seconds to blast somebody with it. That's so an Annie can't just walk around and be this real huge threat you want to get close to, but you can't really do anything about it because she's going to blow you up if you try anything absolutely. It gives her a little bit more counterplay, and it might allow Riot to alter her kit just a little bit to make her more flexible rather than this just streamlined kind of champion. But yeah, I think that's one thing they can do with her, because yeah, she's pretty bullshitty in a very unfun sort of way. Not exactly overpowered, just very frustrating to deal with. Either way though, that's also sort of a talk that I had in my best ultimates video that you saw a while back. A lot of people were saying, why didn't you name Annie's ultimate one of the best? It's because it sucks. It's a nuke, an AoE nuke is not a bad thing to have, and it does quite a bit of good damage, especially if the Tibber is able to burn people. But the stun is not part of that ultimate. The stun is the passive that can be transferred to the ultimate and other abilities. So in essence, it's her passive that's ridiculously goddamn strong. By the way, here I completely fucked up the order of my abilities. So my stun, I think, was attached to my Q, which got wind walled, instead of my Tibbers. So that's just part of me tilting. Fortunately, we didn't get punished for my gigantic ass mistake, and nobody really died on either side, so. Either way, this game is like the absolute personification of solo queue. Both teams are fucking with themselves. Like, if I didn't screw up the little skirmish we had there, we would have turned the tide tremendously. Both myself and my team are screwing each other up tremendously. We're making terrible plays, but the enemy team is doing that too. So no one's really gaining a definitive lead. Like, watch this. We go for Dragon, and we could have turned on the Azir or the Lee Sin, but instead they focus on the Nautilus, and we just kind of leave the squishies alive, and then nothing happens. The enemy team doesn't know if they want to fight or back away. So they back away in completely different directions, leaving their delicious Nautilus to be caught by the Shyvana and easily killed. But then the enemy team collapses on her, and we return to the fight while Shyvana was trying to run away. And we kill Lee Sin. Alistar survives. Shyvana continues to fight instead of running away. So it's like, we just have this horrible communication. Do we fight, do we back away, or do we fight? Solo queue in a nutshell, right? The Shyvana, she didn't do anything really wrong. It's just we didn't pick up on our cues. And this is blatantly wrong, though. The Jax teleports in by himself when no one is anywhere near him, and the enemy team was missing. So he pretty much died for free. Yeah, utter sadness. Either way, it's just we're hoping for the very, very best right now. And thankfully with Annie, again, even though I had a shitty early game, you can recover rather easily with her. If anything, just getting some fortunate assists and kills every now and then. Like right now, the Yasuo, for whatever reason, gets super goddamn aggro, and he's obviously going to die. He's doing his very best, but his best is not enough. I threw the bear on him because I just didn't want to deal with it. I just needed him dead. I needed to get some leverage. Either way, a fight breaks out. They don't know if they're engaging or not, so they back away. Obviously, though, against Alistar is not a good idea. And of course, Azir's ridiculous wave clear. Sorry, I'm screwing up a lot there. Azir's ridiculous wave clear keeps us from being able to push properly. It's pretty unfair, but eh. Either way, so Alistar tried. You couldn't see it, but Alistar tried to initiate against the Lucian. Failed that completely. And so he got a little bit punished for it, but ultimately didn't die. Again, both teams keep trying to make plays happen, but they do it poorly. So just nothing is being gained. It's like a lot of this shit here. If it was done perfectly, the game should have probably either escalated into a full blood match or been over. So it's just a bit of a game of cat and mouse using Acme tools. Just nothing's going right. We're basically all the Coyote right now. Either way, so I'm just farming. You can see me buying Luden's Echo, getting close to getting Luden's Echo. I'm going for the whole big old burst, trap the enemy squishies in one group, and hopefully murder a few of them right then and there. Fortunately for us, the Lucian decides to go full fucking idiot for some reason and dashed forward for, like, you saw him, he used his E, one of his escapes, and got immediately destroyed for that. That immediately allows us to counter push. But of course, like I said, they have an Azir who will pretty much keep the wave perma pushed. We can't do anything. So we're back to square fucking one. Waiting for my flash to be back off cooldown so I can actually do something. Fun times ahead, right? Either way though, if my team can CC them properly, like unlike there, like the Alistar's trying really hard to get that Lucian, then we'll be able to just to melt the shit out of them. Anyways, fight breaks out near Dragon. Once again, you can see they don't know whether they're engaging or disengaging. They're very disorganized. They're fighting different battles, but ultimately we're just here waiting for the Dragon to come back up. But of course, we don't have our full members. Shyvana got killed by the Yasuo. And I don't have my flash to make a flash play or anything, so we just kind of have to give them Dragon. we just, just watching them kill it, which was kind of a waste of time. Nonetheless, I have Luden's Echo now, so I can do quite a bit of damage. Hopefully, at least. The next one item I'm thinking of building is an Hourglass to defend myself in case they decide to initiate on me. Again, both teams have pretty good wave clear, and both teams are pretty afraid of fighting each other. But fortunately for us, they decide to do something ridiculously dumb. Oh, soon enough, you'll watch. So, if you had any choice of targets to pick in my team, who would you focus on? Would you focus on Jhin? Would you focus on Jax? Would you focus on Annie or Shyvana? Or would you pull this shit off? The Alistar goes forward, and they engage and fail everything, and then they... here goes. EQ Pulverize. Jax comes in with a stun. Ooh, just everyone, their most important characters melt. Why would you pick Alistar as your target, who still likely had an ultimate available? Out of all the targets you could have picked, that was the most idiotic. Sweet lord, we pushed her out of tower, we pushed her second tower, we pushed towards their inhibitor tower. And of course we obtained this. Our damage is ridiculous for pushing. We get the inhibitor. Lee Sin is going to engage right now alongside the Lucian. And they clump up too close, and Jax stun, another pulverize, and then just they get torched. I flash forward after I dodge the kick. Flash forward, we managed to kill him. I do miss him. It's kind of shameful. Then once again, a headbutt pulverize, and the EW gets these champions, the following champions, and we torch Azir and Nautilus. And with that, we're able to push. Well, not exactly yet. In comes Samurai Showdown, who fails his win wall and then gets also EQ polarized and stunned by the Jax. And then I torch him. This three-man combo shit just won the game several times in this fight. It was fun. You can watch it. It was just like one big old clusterfuck of mistake, and then we win. The enemy team. And my team was baffled. It's like, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened in these last several minutes of the game? That was too fun. It's a great finish for this game. Oh,